All right, so here are building blasters. This is the fuel depot. It is not complete, but it does have the box. It has the instructions, the manual, and most important, it has a working blaster. So let's see if you turn it, push it down, turn it off to the right, and then when you're ready to release it, and it's lifting up the building, making it fall apart. So I am going to show you this thing in action and probably do it in slow-mo for a little extra fun. All right, so here's the setup. This, the figure, the guy, has made the unwise decision to stand right underneath the tower. Have the detonator in place. You gotta put it underneath here. And I'm gonna turn it on in here in a second and see what happens. All right, so here's the aftermath. It looked like he escaped initially, but yeah, something happened. He got a beam in the head. So this is really pretty cool. So there's a growing conspiracy theory that the man actually survived the initial fall and was just knocked over by an angry videographer for effect. This supposedly undoctored footage shows him having survived the fall. This conspiracy theory is running rampant in the community, and by community, I mean myself and nobody else. So when I first got this, the blaster did not work. I don't have video of that, but basically when you would push this down, nothing would happen. It was kind of loose. There was no spring back. There was nothing whatsoever. Because it was kind of worthless that way, I decided to try to fix it. And this is the repair video of how eventually I was able to fix it. What I had to do was remove 4 screws Phillips head, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of pull that top off, and then you'll see how I worked with things from there. So I took that off, took a picture of these gears to make sure I can put them back in, and I will kind of put them in order. All right, so there's a gear that obviously is supposed to get wound up. So you can see right here, there's like a tab that's broken off. So I'm sure that was supposed to hook into here, and that way when this thing got wound up, it would pull up and it would tighten, and then, that would make it work when it was released. So this is what I'm gonna try to do. I have a screw. I'm gonna try to screw it down into there. And I guess theoretically it would catch this. So I did find another screw. It's a lot bigger. And I think I may start with the smaller one. I'm not sure how much force is gonna be put on this. This piece of plastic is it's not super thick, but it feels fairly hard. So I'm gonna actually try the smaller one, because if I use the bigger one, it's gonna make a bigger hole. That won't fit in, whereas if I do this one and it's too weak, I could do this one. So I'm gonna now use a drill to do a pilot hole. I've decided to do it a little bit further away from where that initial hole was to make sure I have enough room to get the spring in there. So I use the smallest bit that I have. It has to be, narrower than the width of the screw. And kind of just drilled it straight through. So I'll try to get the screw in now. All right, so it is in there. It's pretty, even though I thought I moved it out enough, it doesn't have a lot of space. I may or may not be able to get that spring in there. So let's see what happens. So what I'm trying to do is I actually put it on now, and I'm gonna just try to put it in here. I only got 2 hands, so I'm gonna have to put this down and just tell you how it worked. So this piece actually comes out of the bigger housing. The spring has to be caught in that little orange divot there. I think I have it. I'm gonna try to now get it in place and see if I can get this thing to work. So in general, I can feel some tension. You can see if I do this, it wants to come back. So that's a good start. All right, so I'm gonna start with this gear. This little piece is up, and it's gonna go in this hole. This one comes next. That smaller gear is down. Okay. The star piece is next with the gear down. This thing's gonna go in now. So I think that's good. Now I have to put this on top, and the tough part's gonna be catching those gears in the right holes. So I'm surprised that it actually worked easily. What I'm looking for is to have this one through, this in this hole, this through here, and this through here. So now I'm gonna put the 3 screws back in. 1, 2, 3 in the recessed holes, and see what happens. All right, so I snugged up those screws. 1, 2, 3, again, not super tight. This piece has got to go on here. And I think that was the orientation. I'm going to double check in a picture. This has to go on. The square obviously goes into this. And then this goes into here. So I want this at the top, because what happens is when you use it, you push it down. So like if I put it on now like this, I can't engage the spring. So I don't 100% know exactly, is it supposed to be up here, wherever? So I'm gonna put it about here and see if that works. I have it in, and I can hold it tight. So I know you're supposed to be able to push this down, and then, it's not working. So theoretically, I was supposed to have to push this to the right to lock it in, and then this to release it, and it's not releasing. It may be that it needed to be wound more. So, I mean, here's what I realize. If I turn this enough, it does. And so I can turn it off like that. Turn it on like that. So I almost feel like I have to have it already pre-wound a little bit, so that when I put it in, I don't know how much to pre-wind it. So barely, nearly just working. All right. So I guess I'll wind it a little bit more. And put it. So you see that it's basically working. I shouldn't have to push it like that. Again, the more I tension it up, obviously the more tension's on that screw, the more likely it is to fall out. But let's try it again. All right, so I kept playing with it and kept turning that inside gear. And it does now seem to work. I think that's as much as it goes up. So think it's going to work. I'm going to actually have to obviously try it with the structure itself. So let me put the screws in. All right, so now the moment of truth. This guy is perched precariously and unwisely on top of this huge fuel tank, this hastily and poorly assembled structure. I've cocked this thing. You kind of insert it underneath here, and let's see if it actually works. Jeez. Yeah, so it's not working right. I'm gonna cock it up some more and see what happens. So open it up. I gave that blue gear one complete turn. It does seem more forceful. Our friend has not learned the lesson, even though his tower is dangerously askew. Let's see if he is... Oh God, it keeps doing the same thing. So it keeps turning off to the side. I don't know if that's me or default of the toy. Oh, again, our friend has died. All right, so I'm going to try it again. I had not constructed it the way that it was supposed to be, according to the instructions. And I wonder if because I had it under that side piece, there wasn't a lot of weight. I was able to move just the girder. Now I have it under a main beam, which is under all the other stuff. So here's hoping that it works. There we go. Oh, jeez. All right, so I guess that worked, right? Where's the guy? Oh, I think he survived. He's okay. All right, so our man is wizened up. I've built a somewhat different structure. There's not a heck of a lot you can do. There's not that many pieces, but he's behind the guardrail here. He thinks he's safer that way. Let's see. Oh. It is pretty satisfying. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna try to get in slow motion. I made pretty much the same structure as last time, but took the panels off so we can see the breakdown of what happens here. Talked to the man. He said he wanted to be on top. He said, faith, not fear. I said, perhaps there's a third choice, fortitude. Use your God-given brain not to stand on top of a structure that's fallen down 3 times on top of a loaded fuel tank. But he's going with faith. So I'm going to switch over to slow motion and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I didn't love how that one fell straight at me. So I'm going to try again. So one more time, slow motion. So I'm going to do it one last time. I swear it's the last time. I want to really recreate in slow motion where it starts to tip to the right and then actually goes to the left. Well, that sucked. All right, I'm trying it one more time. I have it set in a certain way that I think is more stable, less likely to fall forward. Our man has taken a position he feels is safe. We shall see. Ha, 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 Uh-huh. So the guy was smarter than me. He did survive with his life. I was not able to recreate that fall, but this really is the Building Blasters by Kenner is a fun toy. As a middle-aged man playing with a toy intended for probably 8 years old, I had a lot more fun with it than I think I was legally allowed to. Hope you enjoyed the video, got a sense of what the toy's about, maybe can help you repair it if yours is broken. Think about subscribing to my Would You Buy It videos. I go out to thrift stores and garage sales and things like that and decide whether the treasures I find are worth it. You decide for yourself. Thanks for watching.